Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we will be taking a look at two of the characters from the recent Amazon exclusive Bad Batch 4-pack. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, be sure to drop a like down below, remember to subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell to stay notified. Upcoming videos will feature similar reviews, diorama builds, and more from the vintage collection, so stay tuned. I am really excited to finally have some new figures in hand. It feels like it's been a while since I've had any new pre-orders show up or found anything in stores from the vintage collection, so it's really nice to finally have something new and exciting to look at and engage with. As many of you know, this Bad Batch 4-pack was also very difficult to come across. The pre-ordering process was lightning quick and many people were not able to get it. Hopefully, those of you who were not able to get it are able to in the upcoming months, since Hasbro has claimed that there will be more available. But for those of us who were able to pre-order it, we know that this Bad Batch 4-pack has been delayed, which is unfortunate, and it's just how it's going recently, and there's nothing much we can do about it other than be patient. Fortunately, I was able to pick up this Captain Hauser and group of Elite Squad troopers from Tunghori's website. I specifically wanted to army build this squad of elite troopers, and that would have been very difficult to do with the Amazon 4-pack, because there is only one of these characters included in the pack, and it does not seem like it would be a single carded release down the line. Hopefully Hasbro can possibly do an army builder pack like they've been doing recently for people who want to have the entire squad. It is not going to be very easy to do, especially considering this 4-pack is very popular and just obtaining it is very difficult. So like I said, I was very fortunate to get the rest of the squad, and once my Amazon 4-pack shows up, I will have all 4 of the troopers, and hopefully in the future we can get Imperial Crosshair to be their leader. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at this figure. And here you have the Elite Squad Trooper from the Bad Batch. This figure is a basic BC-45 Clone Trooper mold with a different helmet. It's got the Phase 2 clone helmet with some really cool, it's like metallic green in the visor. I really like that effect. It looks pretty dang awesome. And here you can see the back of the figure. There's not much new here. If you're familiar with VC-45, you've definitely seen this figure in mold before. The main difference that we have is the head, which many of us were curious about what kind of head would be under this figure after seeing the Bad Batch episode, because this character is actually not a clone. So I think possibly Hasbro had these in production and maybe that became a bit of a surprise to them, and perhaps that's why this figure just has a standard clone head on it with no paint. So that answers that question if you were curious. And if you're not familiar with VC-45, he has all the articulation you will need. He's got lots of ball joints. He's got some hinges at the wrists, which allow him to hold the rifle well. He's got ball jointed hips. The only things I wish that Hasbro could update one day to the Clone Trooper, if they're going to continue with this mold, would be adding some type of swivel at the thigh. I think that would really add for a wider range of motion. And at minimum, I would love to see some rocker ankles on this figure. Sometimes it's very difficult to pose this figure in a neutral pose or certain battle stances, and I think rocker ankles could really make that a lot easier and just add to the figure in general. The other thing I've never been a big fan of are the hands of this figure. I think they engage the rifles pretty well, but they're a little difficult sometimes to work with, especially this left hand. It's a very small grip, and I don't know, it's just kind of awkwardly shaped. Sometimes I just don't have a fun time putting a rifle into that hand or just getting this figure to hold a weapon. He is definitely an older release, so they've just been rolling with this for a while. But it would be cool if they could update him. Something similar to the VC-140 Rogue One Stormtrooper that just has incredible hands. They're a soft plastic that are able to grip nearly any weapon I want to put in there. So those could be some things that Hasbro improves in the future. So this figure actually comes with this version of the clone rifle. And this is the same rifle that is included with the ARC Troopers. Not my favorite rifle, actually. I prefer the VC-45 standard clone trooper rifle. It is a bit more accurate and it just looks better in my opinion. Also, this plastic is a little bit on the flimsy side, as are most accessories these days, so not something that I'm a big fan of, but I would just like to let you know that this is the rifle that it comes with. But as you can see, I've had him displayed with a different blaster. I actually have all three of these set up with the blasters that are seen in the Bad Batch series. You can see another one of my Elite Squad troopers. He is set up with the rifle that he comes with. He grips it pretty well for a VC-45 sculpt. He looks really cool. And then the other Elite Squad trooper I have set up with this flamethrower. And you can get this from the Clone Wars animated line. I believe it's the Clone Flamethrower Trooper CW26. And he just looks really awesome with that. It would have been cool if that was an included accessory, but possibly something they may release in a trooper build-up pack if they decide to do that, allowing people to build up these squads. And let's just take one closer look at his helmet, the detail. As you can see, the paint job is pretty simple. It's just a VC-45 painted in this nice dark gray, almost black color. It looks really, really good. You can see the darker black color used in between his armor. And yeah, these guys just look really awesome together, and I can't wait to have them displayed in my collection. And lastly, let's take a look at Captain Hauser. So as you can see, he is also a VC-45 mold with a Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet and some really awesome paint deco. I really am a big fan of this teal color. I think it looks really awesome. I like the detailing and battle damage. It's got some silver kind of like wash detail on there. I think that looks really cool. He's got a little bit of that down here on this plate and up on his chest plates. And yeah, the paint deco on this figure is really awesome. He looks really fantastic. I have him in this bit of a commanding pose. It looks really cool. So this figure comes with this clone blaster, which is the same one that is included with the ARC Troopers as well. It is actually slightly different than the standard VC-45 clone trooper blaster, but it's very, very similar. And if you remove his helmet, and there you can see the face sculpt. I think they did a fantastic job on this character. He looks really cool, looks just like he does in the series. He's got some amazing paint deco. His hair style and color is just done very well. It's great stuff there. This is removable. If you just pop off his head, you can take that off. And yeah, Captain Hauser looks fantastic. Let's get his helmet back on. There you go. It's Captain Hauser. Very awesome release to have. It's cool to get these characters from the Bad Batch. Hopefully one day we can actually get the Bad Batch themselves into the vintage collection. I would really like to see those characters. At minimum, we need at least 2 of them coming up. It's Bad Batch has already come and gone, and we have none of those figures. So come on, Hasbro, let's see those figures in the vintage collection. But until then, this is a nice offering, and I'm happy to have this character in my collection. I hope you've enjoyed this video, taking an early look at these figures from the Bad Batch series. Do you think Hasbro should focus on releasing the main characters from the Bad Batch? I would absolutely love to see Clone Force 99 make their way into the vintage collection, but please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.